Hi there guys, I hope you have had a good day. So today it is a year ago that Anthony Joshua defeated Andy Ruiz Jr. in their rematch to reclaim his heavyweight world titles and in the process become a two-time heavyweight world champion, but also creating another piece of history, becoming only the fourth man in history to do that, to win a heavyweight world championship in an immediate rematch alongside Floyd Patterson, Lennox Lewis and Muhammad Ali. So AJ is in great company with that history that he was able to create. Now of course Anthony Joshua will soon be defending those heavyweight world titles again, and it's unbelievable that it's been nearly a year that he's been out of the ring, but it is obviously down to the pandemic and other things out of his control. It's not because he wanted it to be inactive. Obviously the fight was first scheduled in June, so perhaps Anthony Joshua was always going to fight in December, but he was probably hoping this would be his second fight of 2020. Now things haven't worked out that way, but that's okay because he still has a fight on December 12th, and it will be against Kubrat Pulev, his IBF mandatory. Now, Pulev is a tough challenger, only one defeat on his resume. That came against Vladimir Klitschko, a former opponent of Anthony Joshua also. But it is hard to believe that around this time last year, Anthony Joshua wasn't even heavyweight champion of the world. He was a challenger once again. Now, he did say in that Andy Ruiz Jr. fight, especially after, that he liked the challenger mindset. He even said he liked walking to the ring first as well, not necessarily walking second as the champion, because that made him feel like he was the challenger in that fight. He said even that he would rather walk first in every single fight after that. So I think that Ruiz fight represented a lot more than just a two-time heavyweight world champion and a victory over the guy who gave him his first defeat. I think that represented a changing point in Anthony Joshua's career. Where was he going to go from here? I mean, there would be a completely different conversation if Ruiz would have beaten Anthony Joshua, so that was all on the line, all of that pressure. What happens if he loses again? What happens if he wins? Where does he go from there? Does he take certain things that worked in this fight and apply them in future fights? And will that work for different opponents? Obviously, what Anthony Joshua had to show in that fight was his mental resolve, more so than anything else. We knew that Anthony Joshua had the physical abilities, the advantages over Andy Ruiz Jr. to get the victory. It was just whether his mind was strong enough to get that victory, and he proved it was, because it takes more than just having a good jab and good fundamentals, strong, powerful punches. It takes a lot more than that. It also takes a lot of mental strength, something that Anthony Joshua has had to prove he has during his career. So when the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight came along, the second one, he had already been in tough positions before, none of them like that, but still, he had that mental conditioning to pull him through. Now, the main thing about it all is, while it was a lot of mental strength that he needed for this fight, it was also those fundamentals that he learned early in his career, during his amateur days also. When a fighter starts knocking out fighters, they often neglect the fundamentals of boxing. Many fighters have done that, but AJ was one who never did. That's why he had that to go back to, because you can knock everyone out, but eventually there will be one fighter who can take the power of someone like Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder. For Wilder, it was Tyson Fury. For Anthony Joshua, it was Andy Ruiz Jr. Then you have to prove you have those boxing fundamentals and abilities to stay at that level. That then proves if you are an elite level fighter or not. Anthony Joshua proved he was able to go back to basics, use the fundamentals to get the victory, outboxing the guy who stopped him the first time, becoming a two-time heavyweight world champion in the process. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.